Hello, hello. Happy Monday indeed. Welcome back to the Monday trivia stream. Seems like we did have another bit of a time zone thing with Facebook. That happened as the first one that we did back. I don't know why. Everything else, we've definitely changed our time zone settings and everything else, but Facebook really seems to be struggling with that. But not to worry. Am I at a weird angle? Nothing I can do about it now, I guess. All right, so let's get started, or let's prepare to get started. So I hope everyone had a nice weekend, and we're back and ready to go. You all know how it goes. 8 rounds of trivia, 5 questions each round. Your answers are not locked in until you hit submit at the end of each round. Let's take a look at what those rounds are, and I'm going to clear my throat and make my voice sound less weird before we do that. All right, so first up, we've got general knowledge. Same as usual. We start this way every week. Next up, it's find the flugelhorn. We circle something in a picture that we ask you to circle, and it's going to have a little twist on it this week. Next up, chapter 1, very mysteriously titled round there. Next up, soap opera. Jessica always likes to get wacky on at least one of the round graphics. And we've got I'm a Belieber. Then April 17th celebrates Japanese art, elegant poems. So that's a couple of days ago. But yeah, we usually reach a couple of days either side when we're doing kind of holiday themed rounds. And then we've got Order in the Sports. And as usual, closing out with a bit more general knowledge. Yes, wood paneling, as you've correctly picked up. Yeah, we're in the basement. It's wood paneled. You know, it's the American Midwest, baby. Wood paneled basement's where it's at. The vaccine, not too bad. We had a bit of a sore arm that lasted about a day, but no fluiness or anything like that. But usually, from what I've heard, if you're going to get that, it will be from the second shot. So we'll find out about that in a couple of weeks. So yeah, we've had a look at the rounds we've got coming up, and I think I suspect because of the time zone thing on the Facebook event, it might just be the regulars, people who know who already know what time we're on, that are showing up this week. So looking at the chat's popping off. So I guess you're all already here. So we might as well just get straight into it and have a look at our first round of general knowledge questions. All right, so round 1, general knowledge, question 1. Yesterday marked the 115th anniversary of the Great San Francisco earthquake. What year did the last survivor of the quake die? Was that 1991, 2004, 2016, or they're still alive? So which of those is accurate? All right, next one. So that was the 1906 San Francisco earthquake. Practically leveled the city. Next up, a joint American-Chinese research team have recently developed embryos that are a mix of human cells and the cells of what animal? Is that pig, monkey, frog, or rat? So I think worth noting, scientists have attempted these hybridized embryos a bunch of times with a bunch of species. This is the first time they've had success actually growing human stem cells in the embryo of another species. So beware of the horrible mutants that will be terrorizing us in the post-nuclear hellscape. Next up, the organizers of Fire Festival have settled a class action lawsuit with 277 of the attendees. How much will each plaintiff receive? Is it nothing after legal fees? $250, $7,220, or $35,000? So, that's just a situation where it's just everyone involved. I wish they could all lose. I didn't watch either of those documentaries, but I just assume that anyone that was attending Fire Festival is the kind of person I would find it funny that the Fire Festival debacle happened to them. Next up, through what unlikely networked device were hackers able to target the data of a Las Vegas casino's high rollers a few years ago? So was that a fish tank thermometer, an ice cream maker, a fire suppression system, or a fruit machine / one-arm bandit / pokey / slot machine? There are a bunch of different terms for them. There's a lot of them in Las Vegas. I'm sure you know what I mean by that. Yeah, no, I didn't see. There were two documentaries that came out at the same time, right? I haven't seen either of them, but I heard they were good watches, so I might have to. The news that the class action lawsuit's been settled is as good a reason as any for me to finally watch it, I guess. All right, and question 5. So our last question in round 1: which legendary athlete has found a second career in retirement writing novels following the adventures of Sherlock Holmes's brother Mycroft? So Mycroft Holmes, a character that existed in the Conan Doyle stories. Which of these sports legends has written a series of novels following his exploits? Is it football legend Dennis Bergkamp, tennis star Steffi Graf, legendary quarterback Steve Young, or basketball player Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? So Dennis Bergkamp, Steffi Graf, Steve Young, or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? And I think the Van Gogh's probably got this one because it seems like Kelsey has read it. All right, so that definitely gives you a leg up if you've read the book in the question. That's usually a good sign. Books, literature, I think a strong suit for Kelsey usually. So the questions there, scrolling around. You know how this works. You go through, choose your options, and remember to hit submit at the end. It's all multiple choice, so it's usually best to go with your gut. At least that's what experience seems to demonstrate. We see a lot of people in the chat going, "God, I almost picked that," but we very rarely see people in the chat being like, "Oh, thank goodness I changed my answer at the last second." In fact, I don't think I've ever seen that. So just a little bit of anecdotal evidence there for you. Maybe people are more likely to mention when they change that answer the wrong way, I guess. All right. So make of that observation what you will. And apparently, when we get around to the answers, that book's pretty good, according to Kelsey. A positive review from our resident literature expert. Okay, so Aspart is telling me that we are ready to go with the answers. That's also an interesting tactic. I think there's also a third one now. Trivia mystery team. Yeah, I like the idea. If you have no idea, choose what your heart wants the answer to be. All right, so first up, question 1. 2016, the last known survivor of the Great San Francisco earthquake died. This is obviously true at time of broadcast. When I was researching this, they thought that the last survivor died in like 2009, and then they found some more survivors who had stopped coming to the memorial services because it was too much hassle and they were too old. And then they lived until 2016, like more than one. they found more than one additional old people, but now they'd be notably extremely old. So we'd probably know about their existence by them being on like oldest people in the world lists, regardless of whether they were in the earthquake or not. All right, next up, it's monkey embryos that team of scientists have put human stem cells into. Then each of the plaintiffs in that class action lawsuit will get just over $7,000. It was a fish tank thermometer that was just on the Wi-Fi network of a Las Vegas casino. This was just this story kind of got out because a cyber security expert was using it as an example at like a cybersecurity conference a couple of years ago, back in 2018. So she didn't say when exactly it happened. She just used it as an example of why you got to be careful with those network devices. And it's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who has been, I think, has written maybe 2 are out and the third one's coming out, or yeah, it's like it's a series now. Anyway, he's still writing them. Those Mycroft Holmes books. Yes, very good. Matt with the jokes, as always. Must have been a phishing attack. Excellent. All right, let's take a look at the scoreboard after round 1. Okay, so we've got 6 teams in tonight. Back in a tracksuit, and the Van Goghs tied with a perfect first round. Great job, guys. Cat Flaps and Flying Solo tied in second with 3 points each. And then Slip and Slide and F&B for Presidents with a point apiece. So 3 ties there. Tied for first, tied for second, tied for third. Nice 5-3-1. I find that very just satisfying, kind of aesthetically nice balance, as all things should be. All right, so we're moving on to the second round of the night. It's a bit early to be calling for tiebreakers, I gotta say. Round 2, find the flugelhorn. So we've played this round before. We give you 5 pictures. I'll tell you to circle something in the picture, and your ability to circle the correct thing determines your points. Because tomorrow is 420, all the things you're going to be finding are kind of weed related this week. So let's see the first picture. And in this, you are going to be circling the tree perk. So circle the tree perk in this picture. Does having a weed round, does that give an unfair advantage to our Dutch competitors? All right, so the tree perk in picture number 1. All right, picture 2. Circle Chong. So, famous movie stoner duo Cheech and Chong. Circle Chong in this picture. Oh dear. All right, next one. Can you circle the cola? Circle the cola in this picture. All right. Number 4. Can you circle Keef? Kief. Circle the Keef from this selection. And our final one. Which of these games has a strategy called the Bong Cloud attack? The Bong Cloud attack is a strategy that can be found in which of these games or sports? So I think you should have the pictures with the thing you're circling in them written next to them on your phones. So as always, when we do these, please, I think you can change the color of your pen. So try to change it to be a nice, easily visible color against the pictures. So, a nice bright red or highlight a pink or something like that. So that it's easy for Jessica to see what you've circled, because we have not been able to train our spot to understand images. We're not that good. He's pretty much just a system of conditional logic on a spreadsheet. He's not, a machine learning algorithm or anything like that. Oh yes, Cleo enjoys this round. Surprise, surprise. Um, did you actually select something on question 1? Can you double check that one for them, Jessica, and let them know? Okie doke. So it seems like our Dutch contingent do not partake. But I know that definitely some of you do. So how much do you know the technical terms? And that last one, not so directly related. All right. And also Cheech and Chong. I mean, you don't have to smoke weed to watch Cheech and Chong movies. All right. So, how many? We're just waiting on one team now. So because there are images and because you've drawn on the images, it's going to be like the full capture. Sometimes if it's just like selecting the picture answers, you just have to do the thing where you tick a box. But because you're drawing on pictures, it's going to be doing the whole find the speedboats bullshit. Yeah, you probably have to get through that after you've done the capture. Like just completing the capture won't submit it. Then you will be prompted to submit afterwards. And it looks like everyone's in. Hi there, Rspot. You're looking cute today. Let's have a look at the answers. So a tree perk short for percolator. So percolator is just the bit that bubbles the smoke through the water, and a tree perk is tree shaped. So it comes down like that, and it just kind of spreads out the smoke more for more effective cooling. That's a tree perk in a bong for ya. Okay, next one. That's Tommy Chong, and the other guy is Cheech Marin. The cola, also called the apical bud. It's just the bud right at the top of a plant, the dense bud of, the stuff you smoke that you find at the top of the plant. And you can get sometimes on large plants, you might refer to other buds as the small colas, as like a small cola, but the main cola is the one at the top of the plant. That's keef. If you've got like a 3-part grinder, that's a little powder you catch in a little catcher at the bottom. Just kind of like high THC dust, and it's pretty much like the most simple form of THC concentrate. You don't need special equipment to make it, and it's not as high THC as some of the other ones pictured there. And finally, the Bong Cloud attack is a strategy in chess. It's kind of, I think it's kind of like a meme attack. I think it's not considered very strategically sound, but sometimes famous chess personalities will use it to meme if they're doing like a chess stream, and occasionally like really good chess players will use it to like kind of dunk on opponents to show how good they are, that they can start with a suboptimal attack. All right, so let's have a look, see who scored well on the weed round. And we've got a 3-way tie at the top now, 7 points each for Back in a Tracksuit and the Van Goghs, who got 2 points each. And Cat Flaps with 4 points closed the gap there. Then a 2-way tie back there between Flying Solo and F&B for Presidents. Slip and Slide, still on 1 point at the back. Cannabis, more like Cannabis. So 3-way tie in pole position there with 7 points each. I'm sure that every single round will see a tie at the top, except for the final scores at this rate. That seems to be a thing that happens. Get everyone really hyped for the tie break, and then it doesn't materialize. All right, round 3, chapter 1. So what we've done here, it's actually nothing to do with books. Sorry, Kelsey. You could have been a free 5 points for the Van Goghs there, maybe. But no, it's DVD chapters. We're going to give you the titles of 3 chapters from the DVD menu of a movie, and you have to guess what movie they come from. So some of them are going to be pretty obvious. Some of them are going to be a bit more abstract. Let's look at the first one so you can see what we mean. So this is a type in the answer round, and the DVD chapters are St. Catherine's Convent, New Choir Director, and Nuns to the Rescue. So what movie are those DVD chapter titles from? So I think you get, if my explanation wasn't clear at the start, I think from seeing it, you get, even if you don't know the answer, you get what you're supposed to do. You understand the premise of the round now. So back in the days when people used DVDs, this is the second round in like 2 or 3 weeks where we've done something DVD menu related. I just realized, it's the thing that basically no one ever used. Who was ever being like, oh yeah, I really want to start from like scene 28 of this movie. But yeah, if you ever felt the need to kind of, usually the main function of these were the thing from a couple of weeks ago, Easter eggs. Like, this is where Easter eggs would be hidden. All right, number 2, P.T. Flea's Circus, A Bird Attacks, and Hopper's Demise. So this is one where knowing character names will help you out. So what's the name of the movie? You just type in the name of the movie that contains the DVD chapters P.T. Flea's Circus, A Bird Attacks, and Hopper's Demise. All right. Number 3, We Are Not Friends, Thug Life, and Cross Joint. We Are Not Friends, Thug Life, and Cross Joint. So what's the name of the movie? Next up, we've got The Guests Arrive, Search the House, and Wadsworth Explains Everything. So another one where if you know the name, it will help you out. And the final list of chapter titles: The Mirror, The Bucket, and Revenge. The Mirror, The Bucket, and Revenge. So you've got your 3 DVD chapter titles in the answer form. So we probably don't need to keep these up on the screen. Yeah, I think just to be right, I think it must be our retro surroundings that have us going back to that well a lot recently. We've tried to spread around the genres a little, so not to give too many hints, but yeah, I did forget my beer. Where is my beer? I'll get in a bit. We'll get in there in the interval. Yeah, so actually, did we? We've spread around the era anyway. We've spread around the release date of the movies. So I feel like we often tend to just go real like the movies of our childhood, but we've spread it around a little bit this time, I think. So let's get those guesses in. What round number was that? Round number 3? Yes, it was, I think. So as always, with the type in questions, it's double checked by producer Jessica. So don't worry. Our spot is not perfect at reading. Any sausage dogs appearing tonight? I don't know. I don't think so. We had them down here while we were setting up, and they were being naughty. Perfect at reading. What did I read wrong? Yeah, they were being very naughty. They were running around under the table where all the cables are, and they were just inviting a disaster. You know, sometimes they sit very nicely on the sofa back here, ready for me to grab them at a moment's convenience. But today, they were sniffling around. Oh boy, those doggies. But you know, Beans at least knows how to come downstairs by herself if she is interested later on. And also that happened as well. Yes, just before the stream started, there was someone back to their house, and they went woof 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 up the stairs, and I don't think they're that interested in coming back down. But we might get an appearance from them later. We'll see. All right, so our answers are in. Let's see what they were. First up, Sister Act. When Jessica was she gave this selection to me as an example of how the round would work, and my guess was The Sound of Music. So if anyone else wrote that, we're great minds, great minds. But Sister Act was the answer there. That's the singing nun movie that we got those titles from. Everyone got this one, MJ. Only me. Okay, good to know. It's got singing nuns in. All right. Next one was A Bug's Life. So Hopper is the baddie. Grasshopper. Next, Pineapple Express. There's a bit at the beginning where he says we're not friends. You're just my drug dealer. They smoke a cross joint. It's, if you've seen the movie, you probably got that one. Then we got. Did we take these directly from DVDs at home? No, I think Jessica scoured the internet for these. Then this was the Clue movie, or Cluedo in the UK. I think the movie was probably called Clue in England anyway. Yeah, with the movie that famously had multiple different endings depending on what showing you went to in the cinema. And the final one was Carrie. So the bucket, of course, being the bucket full of pig's blood. Yeah, I think the problem, or the trick with a lot of these is they are like, once you hear it, you're like, oh. So I felt that way with Carrie. I was like, Jessica gave me that one. I was like, what? They're so vague. But then when I heard the answer, I was like, oh, right, yeah. The bucket. That is kind of an important thing in the movie. All right, so let's see how people did on this one. Or it might be a little extra second with the scoreboard after a writing round, and that three-way tie at the top persists. Oh, I mean, it's still very early days, but maybe we can start to get hyped about a potential tiebreaker. Back in Tracksuit, the Van Goghs and Cat Flaps still each tied for first place, flying solo with 6. F&B for Presidents had a great round there, so they're actually just 1 point behind the tiebreak. Slip and Slide with 2 points. All right, so great job there, guys. F&B for Presidents really climbing close to that logjam at the top. And we're going to move on to our 4th round, the last round before the interval. Maybe I can go and grab a beer during the interval. So round 4 is soap opera. This is our media round. It's kind of a what happens next round. We've taken clips from 5 soap operas from around the world. We're going to show you like little 5 to 15-second clips, say, and you have to guess what happens next, what happens immediately after that clip. So first up, we're coming with a telenovela. I don't know how to pronounce it. Like the L's are like Y's, right? I'm not good at pronouncing any language. Telenovela from Mexico.
No digas eso. Y luego me echaste una cuando se regresó tu esposa viva. Y a mí me echaste la culpa cuando se perdió el niño y te fuiste de viaje.
All right, so what happens next? Does she get hit by a car? Does a car get hit by her? Or does she fall down a sinkhole? All right, the next clip comes from South Korea. It's from a K-drama.
쥐딸도 아닌 예나를 왜 달고 가?
예나 선정이 딸이에요.
All right, so following that revelation, what happens? Does he slap her with kimchi? Does a gunman burst in? Or does he do the world's slowest spit take? All right, our third. So our third clip was from India. Believe it or not, that soap opera began life as the story of just like the day-to-day romantic struggles of a girl with a stutter. How did they end up with several armed police slowly lowering their guns as a gorilla stands next to the heroine? I don't know. But what happens next? Does the gorilla also lay down its gun? Does the gorilla give her a kiss? Does the gorilla kiss the main character? Or does the gorilla reveal itself to be a man in a suit? All right, next up, we're coming from the UK.
How's that for you?
Right off.
Dinner.
Wait a minute.
So, what happens next in that clip? We have someone acting suspicious, making a bank withdrawal. Do bank robbers burst in? Does she shoot herself in the face with a tranquilizer gun? Or does he have a heart attack? And yeah, I can see the Van Goghs are going for the Liz strategy of choosing the one you want to be true. And given just how wacky the world of soap operas is, it seems to be every single country that has soap operas, they have just the wackiest shit. Yeah, that could be a good tactic. So let's have a look. The last one, this is maybe my favorite scene on television ever, and it's from One Tree Hill, which we can counted as a soap opera for the purposes of this. So coming from the USA, I mean, it's like basically like the same deal as a K drama or that Indian drama. You know, it's soap-esque.
Dr. Jameson, please call extension 2524. Dr. Jameson, please call extension 2524. Dr.
All right, so that is you know, kind of the villain of the series, One Tree Hill. I think his name is Dan. I can't remember. Long time ago since that show was on. What happens there? Is he shot by his ex-wife? Does his ex-wife shoot the doctor? Or does the dog eat his transplant heart? And yes, we do have clips of the what happens next for all of these as well, so you'll get to find out after the break. You've got the clips embedded in the form, so you can rewatch as necessary. And we're going to go to a short intermission. See you in a couple of minutes. Hello, 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 and we're back. Grabbed a beer and grabbed a bean. I've grabbed a bean. I grabbed a bean. You gonna be a good girl? All right, you sit there quietly. All right, yeah, you sit down. Yeah, there you go. All right, yes, it's a mango blue moon. I don't have. Are you supposed to stick a slice of mango in this one? All right, so did everyone get their answers in during the intermission? Let's see. If what Arspot has to say about that. And we will also see the resolutions to those tense moments. Okay, good. So everyone's got their answers in. Let's see the answers. So first up, in the Mexican telenovela, we saw an impassioned argument. So roll the clip. What happens next?
No digas eso. Y luego me echaste un dado cuando se regresó tu esposa viva. Y a mí me echaste la culpa cuando se perdió el niño y te fuiste de viaje.
Oh, that's the And so if you chose a car gets hit by her, that's the correct answer. She rolls along the side of a car and then headbutts the already broken wing mirror. All right. Next up, we saw a bombshell being dropped on a K-drama.
지 딸도 아닌 예나를 왜 달고 가?
예나 선정이 딸이에요.
All right, so what?
예나 선정이 딸이에요.
Very low energy spit take, more of a dribble take. Just let the orange juice fall out of your mouth. It's kind of become a meme within Korea now. You occasionally will see K-pop stars like parodying it, even though it was, like that probably happened 7 years ago now or something. All right, let's have a look. The next one was the Indian soap opera, I think, with the gorilla. Oh, the video is.
अपनी बंदूक नीचे रख दीजिए.
So, kind of a low-res video, but eagle-eyed viewers may have seen the answer to this one. Yes, the gorilla was also armed in that standoff. Okay, next up we had Emmerdale from the UK.
Home farm. I used to go on shoots there.
Did you? It's lovely, isn't it?
It is. It's a lovely place. Lucky you. Right. We're all set.
Oh, thank you. Oh!
Is everything okay?
Yeah. Woo! Just excited.
Yeah, she shot herself in the face with ketamine. Oh, I see. It was Frank. Being naughty as ever. But we're back to normal. All right, so that means...
Dr. Jameson, please call extension 2524. Dr. Jameson, please call extension 2524. Dr.
All right, so what happens next in One Tree Hill? Let's have a look.
Nurse Henderson to admitting. Nurse Henderson to admitting.
So one of my favorite scenes in television history, not just because of the bizarreness of what happened, which is very strange, the dog eating the heart transplant, but someone apparently must have like instructed all the extras in the scene, do not react. Have just no reaction to that at all. Very weird. I'm gonna put Beans down. You can lie there for a bit, Beans. And there you go. She's kind of visible there in the background. Oh, she's jumping down. Is she? No, stay there. Just even the guy whose dog it is, like, has no reaction at all. He stays completely silent and completely still to a orderly tripping over his dog's lead with a human heart, and then his dog eating the human heart and just running off. And he sits there just motionless through the whole thing. Are we having a bit of connectivity trouble? It looks fine on my end. I don't know how it looks for you guys. Jessica's saying it looks bad on her end. I am suspicious that it happened right after the dogs came down. All right, let's have a look at the scores. Okay. It might just be on Jessica's end. Okay. All right. As long as you guys can see and hear it, obviously it does make Jessica's job a little bit more difficult, but as long as our delightful quizzes are guessing the full experience. So let's have a look at the scoreboard. Who scored well on that round? And I do think choosing the thing you most want to happen would have been a pretty good strategy there. That's one where I think I struggled to come up with something crazier than what actually happened. Frank, are you coming? Are you joining? No, he's turned right back around. You can hear that he needs his claws clipped. And, score's not updated yet. We'll see that now in a second. All right. So it's now just a two-way tie at the top. 11 points each for Back in a Tracksuit and the Van Goghs. That means Cat Flats and F&B for Presidents are tied in second place with 10 points each. So our top four teams, just 1 point separating them. Flying Solo on 7, Slip and Slide on 4. All right, so the first round of the second half is round 5. Let's have a look at that one. Round 5, I'm a Belieber. So we all know that lots of different celebrities will have kind of names for their fans and their fan bases. So Justin Bieber has Beliebers. Lady Gaga has Little Monsters. We're going to give you 5. We're going to give you 5 famous people, and we're going to get you to choose from 3 options what the name of their fan base is. All right. So first up. Frank, stop clipping about. Just give me a sec. I think we're having minor technical difficulties. Please bear with us. They may be dog related. Oh yeah, we need to come up with a name for you guys. I think we need to. We can't just go read. We need to give due props to Jessica. So like a repo, Like the repo crew. Yeah, there you go. The repo crew. How about that? Without doxing Jessica. Well, you all know my name. Jessica's surname begins with P-O anyway. I'll give you that much. So you are the repo crew. Coined. Okay, so I am currently on my own, I see. Well, what I'll do is just tell you. I do have a script here that I can go to. The first celebrity is Rihanna. Your options for Rihanna are Rihanna Navy, Riri BBs, or Fenty Squad. So, what are Rihanna fans called? Yeah, I was thinking that, yeah. Okay, number 2 is... Oh, so the graphics are up now. Sorry, I just tabbed over to get the script. Michael Jackson fans. Are they Jacko Phantons? Are they Moonwalkers? Or are they Lost Boys? Jacko Phantons, Moonwalkers, or Lost Boys? Okay, number 3. We have Mariah Carey. Are they called Mariniacs, Diva Dolls, or Lambs? Celebrity number 4 is Jimmy Buffett. Frank, where are you going? Are Jimmy Buffett's Parrot Heads, the Buffett line, or Margaritavillians? Parrot Heads, the Buffett line, or Margaritavillians? If you can hear Jessica chuckling, it's because Frank is just blundering. He is blundering through everywhere he shouldn't be blundering. All right, number 5. Ed Sheeran. Are they Ed Heads, Cheerios, or Ginger Ninjas? So what are Ed Sheeran fans called? So come on, Repo crew, let's see what you can do. I was thinking more the Emilio Estevez classic Repo Man. Okay, so do any of you belong to any of these fan bases? Jimmy Buffett, I think, definitely provided one of my favorite moments of the otherwise fairly underwhelming Jurassic World, with his his little cameo there where he's grabbing his margarita and running away from a pterodactyl attack. I thought that was, kind of not. I think that has like the good cameo thing of you just don't expect it. You don't expect to see Jimmy Buffett in a Jurassic Park movie. Otherwise, yeah, that movie was not very good. The you're fans of the Rembrandts. That's a good one. I wasn't aware that the Rembrandts really had fans. No offense to the Rembrandts. Great work on the Friends theme tune, guys. No. So we can hear the secondhand sounds of mischief right now. I don't know if that's picking up on my mic. Surely it is. What has gotten into these puppies today? Just the one song. You're really big fans of. You don't even like the whole song. You just like the bit, just that 30-second clip that's in the in the theme tune of Friends. All right. So I think everyone's got their answers in. So let's look at them. So first up, Rihanna fans are the Rihanna Navy. I don't know. I don't know why. Didn't look into why. Just looked at what they were called. I mean, you get lots of things that there's something army. She just wanted to mix it up a bit. She's from like an island, I guess. So Navy makes more sense than army. Friends fans are called Friends. Yes. Michael Jackson fans are Moonwalkers. I was pretty proud of Jacko Phantons, but Moonwalkers was the answer there. Mariah Carey fans are Lambs. Kind of, I don't know, kind of weird and creepy. Like my lambs, my little lambs. She credits herself as like the first celebrity to do that, but like she definitely wasn't. Next up, we've got Jimmy Buffett, Parrot Heads. Jessica enjoyed the Buffett line. And next one, and the last one, Ed Sheeran fans are, drumroll please, Cheerios. Yes, there we go, Cheerios. I think that's a pretty good fan base name. A lot of them are pretty like underwhelming, like no creativity. Rihanna's is pretty low on the creativity, but then like obviously One Direction very famously had Directioners. Directioners, that's really you could have come up with something else. But anyway, let's have a look at the scores after that. That's enough picking apart fan base names. I don't want to give too many critiques. One Direction did perfectly fine for themselves. Oh, it's back to a three-way tie at the top. Back in a tracksuit, the Van Goghs, and F&B for presidents. So F&B really started slow, and they've been climbing the table ever since. So great job there. Cat Flaps, not really knowing fan base names, so was really staying in the thick of it, but have fallen back a little on this round. Our top three players all got 4s and 3s. Flying Solo and Slip and Slide also both doing pretty well there. Slip and Slide having the best round of the game so far. So that's three teams tied in first place with 14 points after 5 rounds. Okay, so let's have a look at our next round. And I can see, just thanked Kelsey for not listening to me. We would have done a lot worse. So I was just saying, no one ever says, oh, I'm so glad I didn't change my answer. But here we go. We did get one of those comments. All right, so April 17th celebrates Japanese art, elegant poems. Yeah, April 17th was Haiku Day. So I've composed some haikus for you. And they all will celebrate Japanese art or Japanese contributions to culture in some way or another. Just little haiku clues, haikus. Oh, that would have been a good name for this round. Anyway, here we go. Miss White from London. Cute bobtail with a red bow. Sanrio icon. So you just need to type in what is that clue, or like, what's the answer to that little, what's the haiku describing? Some Japanese contribution to culture in one way or another. So Miss White from London. Cute bobtail with a red bow. Sanrio icon. All right, our second haiku, number 2. Taller than his bro. Okay, Beans, settle down. Taller than his bro, yet always in his shadow. It's a me as well. All right, taller than his bro, yet always in his shadow. It's a me as well. So the whole 5 syllables, 7 syllables, 5 syllables thing is kind of like the anglicization of haiku. I think in the original Japanese it's to do with the characters being used. Okay, so next we have green riverbed root. Can't be mass-produced on farms. That's just horseradish. Green riverbed root. Can't be mass-produced on farms. That's just horseradish. Okay, next up. Famed for fantasy. Japan's very own Disney. Magic every time. Famed for fantasy. Japan's very own Disney. Magic every time. I'm getting messages that I'm to be on the lookout for Frank. So he's unaccounted for right now, apparently. Okay, and we have one more haiku for you to solve. Enormous silkworm. Saves the day time and again. Queen of the monsters. Oh, I hear him coming. Enormous silkworm. Saves the day time and again. Queen of the monsters. So you have your 5 haiku. Okay, here we go. If I pop him up on the couch, he can't get down. He's too old. So make yourself comfy there, Frank. All right, so get your guesses in, get those answers in. I will be careful. I'm getting messages. Don't let him poop the couch. I think he's just settling in. He's just going to have a nap, I think. He's admitting defeat. So as with all of our typing the answer rounds, these will be double checked for, spelling and stuff like that. Usually we can anticipate a lot of what might go wrong when typing in an answer and have our spot account for it, but it's all double checked anyway. So if anyone wants to put some, there he is, put some haiku in the comments, feel free. Remember, it's a 5-syllable, 7-syllable, 5-syllable structure. What is he doing? Frank. Just watching him. How would I stop him pooping the couch? I don't know. You have to be keeping an eye on him. He puts his tail up before he poops, but I can't really see him. Just don't. Okay, okay, Frank. We don't need that right now. We finished round 6. You've only got to wait 2 rounds. All right. So, get it. Who can give us a haiku about Frank and Beans, eh? Naughty little dogs causing mischief in causing mischief in the quiz. Don't poop on the couch. There we go. Just like that, straight off the top of the dome. And there's another one from Jessica in the comments. Frank and Beans are cute. One is old and one is not. Just fucking lie down. Is he going to brave the jump? Is he too antsy up here? He's not good at getting up and down from places. What are you doing? What are you doing, boy? All right, so let's see. I'm being told to release Frank, and he'll probably make his way back to Beans and Jessica. All right, go, be free. Don't poop on the floor. Online pub quiz. 2 sausage dogs make trouble. We are losing hard. You're tied for first. All right, so let's have a look at the answers. So first up, Miss White. Kitty White is the full name of Hello Kitty. According to her character bio, she's actually a human girl who just looks like a bobtail cat. She has a pet cat that is a cat, and she's from London. Yeah, it's Hello Kitty. All right, next up. Luigi is taller than Mario. Always in his shadow. Mario's, the main guy. It's me as well. Luigi was the answer. All right, next up. Green riverbed root. That's wasabi. Grows along stream beds in the Japanese mountains. It grows in very specific conditions, so it's difficult to farm. And so that means the majority of horseradish that you eat outside of Japan is just horseradish. The majority of wasabi you eat outside of Japan is just horseradish with green food coloring. They are the part of the same family. They, by all accounts, do taste very similar. Then we have Studio Ghibli, is like the Disney of Japan. Obviously, it's reductive, but it works for the clue. Everyone's favorite Ghibli movie? I think I gotta go Princess Mononoke. What's everyone else saying? Totoro? Spirit Away? Spirit Away could be my top one, actually. And let's see. Nausicaa Valley of the Wind is pretty good as well. Enormous Silkworm saves the day time and again. Queen of the Monsters. Ghibli Studios will have gotten the point. Yes, for sure. I think we just... our spot will have just been looking for the word Ghibli. And we'll probably be giving points out for spelling errors because it's a tricky one to spell. All right, Mothra is the queen of the monsters. So she, in most of her appearances, is a silkworm who then turns into a silkworm moth, except very, very big. All right, so let's see how people did on that one. How's Moving Castle? Solid choice. Ponyo, lovely, very cute. So, who knows the haikus? Points for completely wrong answers? Afraid not. I always like to hear what the guesses are on these types of rounds. And yes, Van Gogh's correctly predicted not covering themselves in glory in that round. F&B in one of the greatest comebacks in trivia mystery history. Rhymes. Have gone from last place in the first round to joint first by the end of round 6, and joint first with a nice lead as well. So back in a tracksuit, and F&B for Presidents tied on 19. Van Gogh's in second place, 16 points. So, still doing well. Let's see if we are going to be in... The Cat Flaps are also well in the mix. So are we going to be in a multiple team tiebreak being on the cards after round 7? Let's have a look. So round 7 is an order in the sport. We do these from time to time. We give you 5 sports-related things that are ascending or descending in size or number. In this case, it's going to be sports stadiums or sports grounds, and we're giving you 5 of those, 5 capacities, the official capacities. Sometimes they'll have additional seating for special events or so on and so forth. So your numbers there. One of them with just over 250,000 Oh, 132,000's in there twice. Don't worry. On the form, you should have the right numbers. 99,000 and 82,000. But yeah, you will have 5 different numbers on your forms to choose from. And let's have a look at what the stadia are. So we're missing 107,000 in there. All right, so Camp Nou or Nou Camp, the stadium of FC Barcelona. Next is the Big House, the stadium for the University of Michigan. Just clocked, we do have a Michigander playing along, so there you go. I don't know if you're University of Michigan or MSU or what your deal is, but the Big House. Next up, we have the Narendra Modi Stadium. It's the main Indian international cricket stadium. Then we have the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for motorsports, most famously NASCAR. And then we have Croke Park for the biggest GAA stadium in Ireland. So GAA covers Gaelic football and hurling. So you've got your 5 stadia, your 5 numbers. So you simply match the capacity to the stadium. So some of you play along on our Thursday quizzes, and we have a put in order question usually in that game. Luckily, this one is a bit more forgiving. Getting one thing in the wrong place is not going to land you 0 points. Everything that's correctly matched gets a point. Anyone been to any of these? I'm going to guess that Shane has been to 2 of these. That's my guess. I'm going to guess he'll be the winner for most of them that have been gone to. I'm going to guess Kelsey's been to 1. Possibly 2. Just based on what I know about the demographics that we have in now. It's the Gaelic Athletics Association. At least in English, it's probably something else in Irish. Only to 1. Okay, I thought there was a chance you'd have been to Camp Nou because I know you're a football guy. But yes, I figured you definitely would have been to Croke Park because every single person Ireland has been multiple times. Even if you're not into sports, if you want to go to a concert, if a big band comes to Ireland, you pretty much have to go and see them at Croke Park. All right, so I think everyone's in, or we're just waiting on one team, maybe. Waiting on one team. So if that one team is you, make sure you've hit submit. Oh, I see. Right. So is that for testing social distancing protocols and stuff like that? Interesting. Okay, so everyone's in. Let's see the answers. So first, Camp Nou or Nou Camp, just shy of 100,000 there. So kind of in just the second smallest. It's still a very big stadium, of course. They're all very big stadia. The Big House, 107,000. So kind of in the middle of the range there. But still one of the biggest stadiums in the world if you exclude a specific type of sport. Let's see what type of sport you'd have to exclude. So if you exclude a genre of sport, the Big House is like the second biggest stadium in the world. But let's keep going. Narendra Modi Stadium would actually be the largest sports stadium in the world if you excluded the next thing, which is that's the wrong number. Hopefully the form is right. The Indianapolis Motor Speedway has 250,000 people attendance. So motorsport stadiums have by far the largest attendance capacities, just because, for obvious reasons, by necessity, they are much larger generally. So also a couple of Japanese horse racing tracks are also high up on the list as well. Okay, and then Crow Park. Okay, I see. So yes, yeah, I think it's just the slides are right because we've just doubled up on the number again. But yeah, 82,000 in Crow Park, the smallest of the stadiums listed, still the largest amateur sports stadium in the world. So GAA, it's all amateur. But yeah, the Indianapolis Speedway is like the largest stadium in the world, and like the top 20 all race grounds, mostly motorsports, but a couple of Japanese horse racetracks in there as well. So let's see how everyone did there. Yeah, we are running on not a lot of sleep today, but the form's right. You have got. It looks like you should have all got the right number of points. So fingers crossed. Let's look at the scoreboard. You'll be able to see how many points you got now, and you've just heard me tell you the answers. So there is a North Korean sports stadium that also claims to be able to hold a lot. It's not as much as the Indianapolis Speedway, but they have a pretty outlandish claim for there's a North Korean stadium. Yeah, unverified. Back in a tracksuit with a perfect round there. So. Out in first place on his own for the first time. The first time we don't have a tie at the top here. Then we've got F&B for Presidents, a mere 2 points back there with 22. Van Goss with 18. Cat Flaps 15. Flying Solo on 14, and Slip and Slide on 13. So those teams that were lagging behind earlier also making healthy little comebacks. Probably not enough to get into contention for the win, but enough to close the gap and make it kind of exciting the whole way down the board. All right, so our final round is, as always, more general knowledge. Now, this can always do some wacky stuff. So let's see what's going to happen here. Round 8, general knowledge. Question 1. So, long question here. Good Humor Ice Cream recently replaced Turkey in the Straw as the ice cream truck jingle due to the tune's history in minstrel shows. Who composed the replacement jingle? So, for people, from the majority of our players who are not American, Good Humor is like the Walls ice cream of America. They're the biggest purveyor of frozen treats. They run like all the ice cream trucks in America, and just like if in England you're used to hearing green sleeves usually coming from ice cream trucks, they always would play the Turkey in the Straw. It's just like an old American tune that was often used in minstrel shows. So because of its racist history, it's been replaced by a newly composed jingle. Who composed that jingle? Your options are Frank Ocean, Quincy Jones, Donald Glover, or RZA. All right. Does it hint that all the W's are italics? I think that's just the font. It's kind of funny looking, isn't it? But that's just the way the font is. I don't think anyone there's got W's in their name. Oh, I do see what you mean though. Teddy Bear's Picnic is the ice cream song in Ireland. Interesting little tidbit there. Oh, someone has accidentally exited the answer form. So if you go to the scores page, you should be able to see a series of links to all the different ones, all the different forms. So you should be able to get to directly to round 8, or Jessica's put a link directly to the round 8 form in the chat. So you should be able to open it there. All right, question 2. I think I went a bit wordy on all of these ones. Regarding the first Earth Day in 1970, Time magazine quoted a representative of the Daughters of the American Revolution as saying, subversive elements plan to make American children live in an environment blank, live in an environment of homosexual decadence, live in an environment of communist oppression, live in an environment that is good for them, or live in an environment that stifles the innovations of capitalism. For those of you unfamiliar with the Daughters of the American Revolution, they are the group that's pretty much responsible for all the hastily erected, cheaply constructed Confederate monuments all over the country that are currently being torn down. All right, next up. Question 3. A year after Costco opened their first and only store in Iceland, that's the country, not the British supermarket chain, pollsters found that what percentage of Icelandic adults had a Costco membership? What is it? 30%, 50%, 70%, or 90%? And so this poll was in 2018. The first ever Costco in Iceland opened in 2017. I don't know if that's going to influence your opinion, your answer, but just as a little background information there for you. All right, question number 4. In 1879, it was estimated that it would take 10 years to produce the Oxford English Dictionary. The first volume, published 5 years later, went from A to what word? Was it ant, dirge, get, or knowledge? And question 5. In 2008, Finnish police apprehended a car thief thanks to DNA evidence recovered from chewing tobacco, a mosquito, a porno mag, or a Bluetooth headset. So we'll keep all of those cycling around there. Kind of wordy questions this week. Yeah. Hopefully the information I'm looking for is not too obscured. I think sometimes I go with these not very well constructed sentences. I could do with an editor. That would be one job too many to put at Jessica's feet. I either just need to get better at proofreading my own writing. I feel like I could have expressed these questions more succinctly. But looks like it's pretty much a 2-horse race at this stage in the competition. But we'll find out in a few moments. Will it be the slow climb up the ladder, the gradual comeback from F&B for Presidents won last week or the week before. Can't remember. I'm pretty sure they got a victory recently. Well, phone's ringing and no one else is home, so they're going to have to go to the answer machine. All right. Yes, I am not home right now. Teddy Bear's Picnic seems like it would be a good one. That makes me want to buy ice cream. You would eat ice cream at a picnic, especially if you're a teddy bear. Oh, so our current leader guessing for all but one. So, I mean, with guesses, there are guesses and there are guesses. You know, there are complete stabs in the dark, and there are like, oh no, the trivia police checking my phone. They've been staking out the apartment in Bucharest. And yeah, let's have a look at the answers. All right, so RZA of Wu-Tang Clan has composed the new jingle for American ice cream trucks. So maybe those italic W's were a clue. Yes, Subversive Elements plan to make American children live in an environment that is good for them. This is a quote that's attributed to Time magazine. I could not find it in the Time archives. There are lots of different online sources referencing this quote, but could be apocryphal, but it's funny either way. All right, let's have a look. 70%. So in a poll taken, so this was a poll, obviously poll respondents doesn't necessarily always represent the entire population, but in a poll taken a year after the first Icelandic Costco opened, 70% of respondents said that they had Costco membership, with 60% planning on renewing. Yeah, they suck. They suck really bad. And the first volume, after 5 years of the Oxford English Dictionary, went from A to ant. All right, and finally, it was a mosquito. So when they found the stolen car, there was a mosquito inside, and following a hunch, they figured maybe it bit the thief. And apparently it did, because they apprehended someone based on the DNA. Too bad for them if he just got bit and then the mosquito flew into the car. I just found it was a news article from 2008. There wasn't a lot of follow-up in the international media about a car theft in Finland, it turns out. All right, so let's take a look at the final scores. It was a sting operation. All right, here we go. Is mischief still happening over there? All right. Just yet, okay. And okay, it's a convincing win there for Back in a Tracksuit. Congratulations, Shane. I know you've been chasing that win for a couple of months now since your last one. So good job there. A 3-point margin of victory in the end there. It was really close, the majority of the quiz, but pulling ahead in the last couple of rounds in a what I like to call a reverse Shane. Then we've got F&B for Presidents in a well-earned second place finish. Started from the bottom, and now they're here. Great job, F&B for Presidents. Then the Van Goghs rounding out the podium places with the 20-point bronze medal finish. We've got Cat Flaps on 16, Flying Solo and Slip and Slide tied on 15. So also great scores for all of our teams today. But congratulations to Back in a Tracksuit, a well-earned victory, and yeah, take a victory lap. have a big bag of cans. All right. So thanks for playing, guys. Join us on Thursday for our tea time speed quiz. That's 7:30 for our Dutch and German teams, 6:30 for our UK and Ireland teams. And yeah, you know, that one runs 30 minutes. It's a bit quicker. It's a bit more conventional trivia-y, apart from this or that round, or either or round, which we get a bit wacky with that. We just can't help ourselves. We love a wacky question. Sue us. Don't sue us. So 12:30 p.m. for our Central Time Zone teams, who I don't think any of them are in tonight, are they? Maybe. I don't know. Sorry if you are and I didn't mention you. But that's, yes. I am not legally responsible for the wackiness. Thanks for playing, guys. I'll see you on Thursday. If I don't see you on Thursday, I'll see you next Monday. All right. Ta-ra. Bye-bye.